What if your shower could be more? What if it were an experience rather than just a utilitarian space to get clean? A place to escape from daily worries. In the following section, we'll show you how to install a tile shower from the drain slope to the finishing touches. If you're installing a shower, you might have questions like, what are all the tools I'm going to need? Or how do I make it so the water drains effectively? At the Tile Shop, we want to send you home with the right tools, materials, and expertise to get the job done. Be sure to ask one of our sales professionals if you have any questions that aren't addressed in the following section. We've broken this section down into chapters on the DVD so you can quickly access a specific step whenever you need to. We recommend that you have prepped a solid, stable subfloor. In this case, our subfloor is 3/4 inch plywood over joists that are 16 inches on center. The drain should already be in place and plugged with a sponge to keep debris from falling into the drain pipe. The base of the drain is resting on the plywood surface and glued to the PVC stub. The area needs to be thoroughly cleaned and checked to make sure it is solid and secure. Once the subfloor is prepped, we're ready to apply a layer of tar paper. The tar paper is stapled directly to the floor to prevent moisture from the mud we will apply later from being absorbed by the plywood. Notice that the tar paper doesn't need to wrap up over the studs. Remove the tar paper from around the drain by simply feeling for the center and cutting along the outside using a utility knife. Fill in any gaps in the layer by stapling in small pieces of tar paper overlapping the edges. The idea behind a shower pre-pan is to have a backup for water to drain if water seeps below the mud pan and tile. The drain for this type of system comes in 3 pieces. The first piece is glued to the PVC drain pipe with the base resting on the subfloor. The second piece is used to clamp the liner in place to the first piece and has what are called weep holes, which allow any water reaching the red liner to drain. The third piece is the adjustable topside that will be seen in the finished shower floor. The last thing we want in a shower is pooling water, so the pre-pan needs to have a proper pitch for the shower to drain. A 1/4 inch slope to the center allows for proper drainage. The next step is marking the outside edges of the pre-pan on the floor plate at approximately 1 inch in height and snapping a chalk line. This line will be our high point in the pre-pan. The floor mix is a pre-mix of 4 parts washed sand aggregate to 1 part Portland cement. Mix at least 3 quarts of water and 1 quart of admix per 80-pound bag. We recommend using 100% admix for better adhesion and to eliminate air pockets. Nothing is more frustrating than finding you've left our store without enough material or without the right tools for the job. Take time when purchasing your materials to talk to our sales professionals about your project from start to finish. They can walk you through the project to make sure you have the right container for the size of the batch to be mixed, along with the right mixing tools. They can even tell you how many buckets you'll need. Chop and mix to a consistency of wet beach sand, and let it slake or stand for 5 minutes. When the mixture can be formed into a ball in your hand, you're ready to go. Pour the mix along the perimeter of the shower stall. Pack the mud so the pre-pan is flat and level up to the chalk line using a wood float. Start creating your 1/4 inch pitch by digging down to the drain itself. The lip of the drain is the low point of the slope. Use a wood or metal float and gradually work from the inside to outside edges, rotating out from the center drain. You're slowly screeding off the extra floor mix little by little. You can check the pitch by using a level. Look for about a 1/4 bubble. Allow at least 24 hours for the pre-pan to dry and make sure the surface is clean. Now it's on to the shower liner. Measure up the walls a minimum of 6 inches for the Pasco liner membrane. We'll attach the membrane with 1 inch galvanized nails. When you get to the corners, there are a couple of ways to secure the liner depending on how the shower is framed. The best way is to stuff the excess liner behind the studs, keeping the liner up, which gives you a clean line. This option, however, requires the customer to have planned for space in the corners of the framing. Most customers won't have thought of doing that, so the second best way is to make a snug fold or a pig ear in the corner. Make sure the nails are driven at least 5 inches up on the membrane to avoid a potential leak point. Then cut out the center drain, carefully trimming only around the drain hole itself. Next, tighten the top clamp, sandwiching the liner between the 2 drain pieces. Make sure to take your sponge out of the drain pipe at this point and tape off the top of the drain. If you're like most do-it-yourselfers, you're probably not an expert in things like creating a drain pitch, so the Tile Shop features an easy-to-assemble shower pan kit, which takes the guesswork out of making the proper slope to the shower drain. We start by placing the center ring, then measure and cut to size the individual spokes for the shower pan. Later, after pouring in the mud, we'll screed the mud off to the top of the shower pan spokes for a perfect slope to the drain. Once all of the spokes are in place, the threaded